Hi, and welcome to Tuesday's Pick a Card reading. So I want to kind of switch things up a little bit this week, just for the week, okay guys? I make a lot of videos about love and relationships, which is great because I'm really good at those, and I get a lot of good feedback. But I can also do other kinds of questions, okay? And I feel that I really need to put out more content that's for the general audience, okay? So today we're going to look at what your guides want you to know. So the title of this is Communicate with Your Spirit Guides, okay? But this comes from a lot of viewer responses, and a few that I can mention is Invader Kaylee asked, can you do a reading based on spirit guides? And UVX Zoe asked if I could get if I could give some messages of encouragement for anyone struggling, okay? And I know that some other people have mentioned other things that have to do with spirit guide messages, okay? I do want to say that I don't feel like I'm going to get a whole lot of divine purpose answers here. I feel like this is going to just be like what they want you to know, okay? So that's what we're going to do. And before I start, I just want to say anything you need to know about me is in the description. I do have a sale going on. It's really awesome. And you can access that from the description as well. It's the first link, okay? So let's go ahead and tell you which pile is which. They all have the same amount of cards in them. They're just, yeah. Okay, so pile number 1 is the yellow heart. Pile number 2 is the green heart. Pile number 3 is the black heart. Pile number 4 is the red heart, and pile number 5 is the blue heart. Okay, so while you guys are picking what you what you're most drawn to, I just want to say again, thank you so much for your support. I seriously couldn't be doing this without you guys. I can't believe that I have so many subscribers now, and that I'm getting such wonderful feedback from you guys. It really helps me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I can't say enough how much I really appreciate you guys, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and move some of these out of the way so that we can really focus on pile number 1, okay? So, all right, pile number 1, those of you guys who picked the yellow heart. All right, so I'm going to just tell you what each card says, and then we're going to analyze them. We've got new beginnings. We have forgiveness. We have accept love. We have give yourself the best. Okay, we have courage. We have vacation. We also have the Archangel Raphael. We have get the big picture, view from above, and we have ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. Okay, so for you guys, I'm getting a lot of messages of encouragement, okay? So the first ones that really stick out to me are actually the last ones that I mentioned. We have ascending the mountain, okay? And then we also have view for above. I feel like these two are definitely connected. I feel like what your spirit guides are trying to tell you is that you had an obstacle in front of you, and you could have turned back. You could have been like, you know what, I'm not going to work at this. I'm not going to work hard for this. I'm not going to try because it's just too much. And a lot of people would have done that. But for you, you've decided, you know what, I'm actually going to try to get to a place where I'm feeling good, okay? So you are facing an obstacle that a lot of people wouldn't face, but it's positive. You're supposed to be doing this. They're giving you some encouragement, keep going. You're gonna overcome this. So whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life that's kind of negative or that feels like you're just not gonna get there, you will. It's giving you reassurance that you will get there. And then once you get there, you're gonna have so much of a different perspective. It's gonna be great because it's gonna change the way that you look at the world, and you're gonna see the world as like a lot more amazing than you're seeing it right now, which kind of is what to expect when somebody is going through some difficult times. Okay, so that's the first thing that I'm getting here from this. I feel like the courage card is coming through to just let you know that it's okay to be afraid. It's totally okay to be afraid in this situation. But your courage is going to be overriding that, okay? And they're just kind of giving you the thumbs up about that, okay? It's like it's really awesome that you're able to keep going. And it's like they really want to encourage that, and they want to let you know that, they see you working at this too, okay? So let's talk about the Archangel Raphael. I just want to kind of read the blurb because it's kind of small. Provider of healing for mind, body, and spirit. And then we have vacation, take time for relaxation and adventure. So this lets me know that your guys are like, hey, while you're working on this stuff though, you really have to pay attention to your mind, to your body, to your spirit, okay, to your psyche. This is just talking about an overhaul in healing, okay? So this is really talking about how you are such a great person that you're focusing on other people, and you're really trying to make things positive for the other people in your life, okay? However, you really need to turn that focus inward. And I don't mean turning it inward to then help people even more. For example, like turning it inward to really reflect on somebody that you care about so you can figure out how to help them, or how to connect with them better. It's like, no, you've got to just focus on yourself. You've got to listen to your body. Like, you've got to listen to your body and find out, hey, am I giving myself enough nourishment? Am I giving myself enough time to sleep? Am I giving myself enough, whatever it is? Or am I getting enough, this or that, and all of that kind of stuff? Or am I getting too much? Am I oversleeping? Am I overeating? That kind of thing. And make those kinds of adjustments, but also don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Understand, everybody goes through times where they have issues with their health, or issues with their clarity and that kind of thing. Just know that as you take time to relax, and you plan for time for yourself, it's going to make a huge difference on how, that store of energy you have to focus on other people, okay? So let's pretend, I'm just going to use an example because I think it's important to use them. Let's pretend that you are a person who's really in love with somebody, and you really want to make this work. You have an idea that they're interested back, but you're not certain, and your impulse is to just really push this, and then while you're by yourself, to kind of meditate on it and all of that kind of stuff. Instead, what I would say is, yeah, do that stuff. That's fine. But if you're going to use meditation time, at least use half of it to meditate on your own self, okay? And get some guidance for your own self that doesn't have anything to do that's connected with the person you're in love with, right? Or, instead of engaging in some kind of activity for 30 minutes that maybe helps you understand people at a better level so that you can apply that to the person that you're interested in, maybe you could spend that 30 minutes taking a really nice detox bath, okay? So I'm just, basically what I'm trying to say is, make sure that the amount of energy you're focusing on other people, you're putting the same amount of energy into yourself. Because I really feel like your guides are telling you, hey, take care of yourself. They have you in mind as the most important person here, okay? So of course they're going to say, hey, put yourself first. But they're also letting you know that, even if you do that, you're still going to overcome whatever boundaries that you're trying to overcome right now. And you are going to get a new perspective, okay? You're fine. It's almost like they want you to be, they want you to have enough nourishment, and they want you to have enough energy to be able to get through it without feeling so stressed, okay? All right. And once you get to this, this view from above, all right, guys, I'm so sorry. I sneezed and it was embarrassing, so I decided that I'm gonna cut that out, okay? So sorry if it's a little choppy there. I was gonna say, we have this new beginning cards, okay? And I really feel like this pairs up with view from above. I feel like once you get over this obstacle, your perspective is gonna change, and because of that perspective changing, a lot of new things are gonna happen. First off, you've got the obstacle out of the way. You don't have anything to overcome. You're there, right? But second, some new things are going to start happening as a result. And it's not just that you're going to accomplish your goal, but it's also that you're going to have other opportunities that are going to come up as a result of accomplishing this goal that's going to help you even more. So your guides are telling you, whatever you have imagined about what you're going to do when you when you ascend this mountain, they have something even better for you planned. Okay, so you're going to get what you want and more. All right. And then we have forgiveness. I really feel like this has to do with yourself, though. I don't feel like this has to do with another person. I feel like this is self-forgiveness. And I think that forgiveness, this is my personal philosophy. Take it or leave it, okay? It's just the way that I view it. I feel like forgiveness is oftentimes not so much about saying that it's okay to do something wrong, or saying that it's okay to maybe go a little bit astray of your own moral compass or anything like that. I think forgiveness is about recognizing the humanity in ourselves, combined with our wish to become better than human. Okay? Now, when you take a human being and you put inside of this human being thoughts and beliefs and emotions and ideas that make this human being feel like they can be better than what they are, you're going to run into situations where, this person is going to feel like they really, really messed up if they're anything less than perfect. Now I understand some people have done some really, really hardcore stuff. And one thing that I want to mention there, okay? I used to work at a prison where I worked with some men who had committed capital crimes. I'm talking about the worst crimes of the people in my state, okay? So I know what this is. I know that there are some major things people have to forgive about themselves, okay? However, it's the humanity, it's the poor judgment, it's the, everybody has moments where they're embarrassed about, everybody has moments where they've made poor, decisions, everybody has moments where they haven't thought through something completely. I actually have a friend who thinks that he doesn't. He actually told me that about a year ago. So every time he makes a let's call it an unwise decision, I point it out and I'm like, hey, it's okay though. I'm just saying, you're not perfect. I'm glad, that kind of thing. Look, forgive yourself and your own humanity, and really a big part of forgiveness is trusting that you're not going to do anything like that again, okay? And that you really are committed to that, okay? Learn the lesson from whatever happened and then move on, because, you're not that person. You're not that action. You're not that thing that happened, okay? You're better than that, all right? We also have accept love, okay? Somebody really cares about you that maybe you're not aware that they care about you. I don't feel like this is directly from your guides, because your guides, they're like, no, we love you. That's it. But this is somebody else. This is somebody on earth. Accept love. I feel like this isn't just like a romantic thing. It could be, but I feel like this is more a friendship or a family member, okay? Accept love from this person, okay? I don't feel like this accept love card has to do with a family member or a friend that's been really nasty to you that you need to forgive. I don't feel like there's any room for toxicity in this message at all. So this is accepting love from somebody who has your best interests in mind, that does care about you, somebody who's a positive force in your life, okay? Not a negative force, okay? And then we have give yourself the best. Okay, it's interesting because this particular card came up in yesterday's reading for one of the piles. So those of you who've gotten this twice, really think about this message, okay? Part of this has to do with making certain that, when you have something that you want, like a purchase, just like let's just talk about the material world. If you have something you want and it's in the material world and you're going to make a purchase of something, make sure that you get something that's well made, that's going to last longer, okay, instead of necessarily saving a whole lot of money. I feel like there's a way that you guys can experience life in a more comfortable way if you were to make decisions like that. Now, um, take that physical analogy and apply that to the spiritual realm. Okay, I feel like what the guides are telling you, and it's kind of a complicated message because it's kind of hard to translate the physical to the ethereal, right? Is give yourself the best, like when you, like if you hear yourself engaging in negative self-talk, if you notice that maybe you're self-sabotaging in some way, if you notice that you're really attached to something that's not serving you anymore, pay attention to that and know that you deserve better than that. If you're engaging in anything that makes you feel less than awesome, then that's something you need to be aware of. Be aware of it. Write it down. Is this helping or hurting? Okay. Sometimes we engage in things that make us feel like total crap, and it's what we're supposed to do. Okay. For example, I lost a bunch of weight last year, and I had to engage in some exercise that I really didn't enjoy, and it did make me feel pretty bad. But when I think about that and I'm like, does that help or hurt? It's like, this is helping me, okay? So I've got to keep going. And now I enjoy exercise because, I'm in the habit of doing it. It's like that, okay? So if you're engaging in something like, I keep hanging out with this girl, and she's all right, but oh my gosh, I feel so drained when I come home, and it's like way more drained than normal, for those of you who are introverted or whatever. There's something up there. There's something about that that's not even, So really, give yourself the best. Make sure that you're getting rid of the things that are anything less than what you really need, okay? And again, the forgiveness. Everybody's human, okay? It's not like your friends are going to be perfect 100% of the time. All I'm saying is that the general energy when you're around these people that you include in your life is positive and helpful versus hurtful, okay? And I know that that's probably like a kindergarten level of explaining it. But really, if you're in any kind of situation and you take a pause and you're like, wait, is this helpful or hurtful? It will change your life. I do that. I teach my kids that. I taught my partner to do that. It's pretty amazing, pretty awesome. It's life-changing, guys. All right, those of you who picked the green heart, here is your reading. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you know all the different cards I'm getting. Okay, and then we're going to analyze them. We've got retreat. We have enchantment. We have put others first. We have stick with it. Okay. Ooh, we have anger. I like it when that card comes up. We have confrontation. We have enlightenment. And then we have taking shelter and stepping into power. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this energy here with the retreat and the taking shelter, okay? So the retreat card in this particular deck is the closest thing that I can get to the hermit card, okay? And those of you who've watched me for quite some time know that the hermit card is my favorite card. So we've got the retreat card here, okay? It's like going within, it's like taking a step back, and then we have taking shelter. The answers are within, okay? So your guides are saying they have communicated to you in some way. Maybe you weren't aware that they communicated with you, but they've communicated with you. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe they just kind of put little signs around, or maybe they're kind of doing that gentle nudge towards something or another, okay? Maybe they're telling you to take a class, or maybe they're telling you to talk to this person more, or maybe they're telling you... maybe they're telling you that, you're supposed to do something that you're not doing, or you're supposed to kind of drop something that, that you're spending a lot of time with, that you're overdoing it with. The bottom line for this is that what you need to do, what they're encouraging you to do, is to take some time for serious reflection, where you're not talking about this with other people. You're not talking about it with other people. You're not looking to other people's guidance for it. You're not looking for advice from, let's say, any field of thought like psychology or philosophy or or anything like that. You're using your own resources that you already have, because you already have them. Your guides are making it very, very clear that you already have the answers. You've just got to get quiet enough and still enough to let them come to you. What I would suggest is spending, a little while today, or in the next few days, thinking about, like, just sit somewhere, be comfortable, or lie somewhere, be comfortable. Imagine very vividly whatever situation it is that you want, that you're feeling you need information about, that you've noticed you've been asking other people about a little bit, or that you've been researching about a little bit more, or that you've really kind of got in your head, okay? You feel kind of maybe stuck. Imagine that, and then imagine, just, if you want to, you can imagine on a literal chalkboard, and imagine it as a chalk drawing or something like that, and then erase it. Just erase it from memory, and by erasing it, you're giving it to your guides to take care of, and then just wait. And just stare at that chalkboard, or maybe it's not a chalkboard, maybe it's an easel, maybe, with a canvas on it, maybe it's a dry erase board. I love dry erase boards. But whatever starts appearing on that board, or whatever you start hearing, or whatever you start feeling, that's the answer, okay? And I really feel like it's important for those of you who pick this pile to get the answers from within right now, okay? Because I feel like if you give too much of your power to other people, to kind of help you to make decisions, while that's great because you can get some support, I feel like you guys have been, like, kind of getting support from other people so much that maybe you haven't really thought about that support from yourself. I'm not saying that you guys aren't capable of this kind of thought, or that you don't engage in this. I'm just talking about in the particular situation. Okay, there's something that you aren't getting that you already have. I mean, you're not conscious of already having an answer here. Okay, so that said, let's go ahead and, okay, so I really feel like this has to do with something that's going on in your life, okay? So I wasn't really expecting for the guides to speak on a very specific thing, but in this situation, okay, I feel like they're also telling you to stick with it. The number associated with this is 44, in case that number means something to you. So just really stick with whatever it is that you're concerned about until you figure it out, because there's a lesson in figuring it out, okay? And that lesson could mean that you're actually supposed to do something in that situation, or the lesson could be something else, okay? It's just stick with it. Don't let this go. Make sure that you come to your own ideas about this, okay? It's really important in this particular event, in this particular situation, that you are thinking for yourself, okay? And they're saying, stick with it, okay? I'm sorry, I feel like there's two different messages here, so I'm kind of like putting the ones in. Okay, so we have confrontation. Pick your battles wisely. Okay, I feel like confrontation also has to do with the retreat, the taking shelter, the sticking with it, okay? I feel like the confrontation is like, face what's inside of you, okay? This could be shadow work. For those of you who don't know what that is, and I'm not trying to be like, patronizing or anything, I just want to make sure my viewers understand that that's facing some aspects of yourself that maybe you're not so proud of, okay? This could look like something like, oh, I care about somebody who maybe I shouldn't care about, or maybe society tells me I shouldn't, maybe you care about somebody and it's a taboo subject, or maybe you care about somebody who's married, that kind of thing. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying that this is what everybody who's watching this is going through. I just mean, like, really confront the parts of yourself that you're not happy with, or the parts of yourself that you think is wrong. Maybe you're struggling with your sexuality, and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to accept that about yourself, or maybe you're trying to accept something else about yourself. Maybe you've worked your whole life to become a doctor, and now you're in school and you're like, wait a minute, no, I want to do art, or I want to do music, or I want to do something that's totally different. This is going to surprise everybody, but I need to do that. Really confront whatever it is, whatever you believe that's inside of you, and make sure that you've got those answers. Your spirit guides are letting me know that there just needs to be a lot of self work. Okay. One thing that they're telling you is that you are here to become enlightened. Okay, so you are working towards spiritual growth. Okay, so right now your focus is really more on spiritual growth. Okay. So as you're going through this, you're going to surprisingly find out that you're getting angry a lot more. Why are you getting angry? Because you're becoming more sensitive, okay? And you're realizing that there's a lot more complexity in the world than than one would think at first glance. And as you become more aware, you're going to start feeling a little angry that other people aren't. You're going to feel kind of like, well, isn't it a luxury for you to not even care, that kind of thing. I mean, I don't feel like it's going to be in a like elitist way, but it's more like you're going to start getting a little bit frustrated with the people that aren't on the path that you're on. That's normal and healthy and natural. It's part of what makes you human. But I don't feel like you're going to stay there, okay? It's just a process that you go through as you become more and more enlightened, okay? So they're saying this anger is okay, expect it, understand that, but you can take this anger and you can put it towards positive change, okay? And the way that you can put it towards positive change is stepping into power and understanding how strong you are, because you are an extremely strong individual, okay? You can take anger about, maybe you're upset because I don't know. I want to use a political issue, but I don't want to be divisive. Like maybe you're upset about some kind of political issue, okay? I'm not going to say what, okay? And you're angry about it because it's like you really feel like what you think about this is right, okay? And, taking your anger and turning it into like following a cause, okay? That's a really important thing, I think. So as you are stepping into your own power, know that you're becoming stronger, and that anger is tempering your strength, okay? Another thing you'll notice as you become enlightened, that you're supposed to be a little enchanted. You might feel drawn to I don't know why I'm getting this. I got this in a private read, okay? That's why I'm saying that, because it was so specific to that person that I really felt like that was their message specifically. But I feel like, it's like you're going to be kind of drawn to like fairy tale and myth and things like that, because there's something there's something about that world of enchantment that has a greater meaning. I think it's because they're populated with archetypes. They're populated with things that, when you talk about myth and fairy tale, they've been around for hundreds of years, okay? And these stories are timeless. They've touched many people, and there's a reason why they're timeless. It's because they're archetypical. It's because they're part of the collective understanding and the collective knowledge and wisdom that we have access to. So I really feel like your guides are encouraging you to revisit your childhood, like the books that really enchanted you in childhood and things like that. You don't necessarily even have to reread them or anything. It's just think about like what were some of the stories that you really liked. Did you really like Hansel and Gretel? Were you really into Hans Christian Andersen? Did you really like some obscure kind of fairy tales? Did you particularly like fairies? Did you particularly like sorcerers? Was there a certain theme there? And maybe write that down and then kind of think about like, what does that archetype mean? What does the archetype mean of for example, I really like the Wicked Witches. What is it about that? They were always, or like, what is it about the stepmothers that I was really attracted to, that I thought was kind of kind of enchanting, you know. It's like, you know, these people, they come into, they have to step in there, and it's like they're compensated for that by being given magic, but then they kind of don't use it in the best way, you know, like, what is it about that, you know, that kind of thing. I really feel like that would be a really good place for you guys to start getting more spiritual enlightenment. Okay, and then we have put others first. I think that that's kind of a, you know, the kind of golden rule mentality of, you know, making certain that you're doing things for other people. It's really, I mean, yeah, that's really important. But understand, you know, your guides are noticing that you really, really need to take some time for yourself, okay? Still, don't become so withdrawn inside of your own self that you're forgetting to connect with other people every so often, okay? And one thing that you can do is, if you notice that you're not, you know, interacting with people in a really, like, in a way that feels rewarding, and like you're being a really positive force in their life, what you can do is you can say, you can ask somebody, you know, is there anything I can do to help? You know, like that. That way they know that they at least have that resource, okay? The one thing that I would caution against is doing it too much, okay? Because sometimes we can take on too much. And this taking shelter and retreat, and the kind of confrontation of your own shadow, I really feel like this work is really important, okay? So basically the bottom line is that your guides are saying, you know, hey, you've got a lot of wisdom inside of you already about a situation that you've been interested in. Stick with it. You're going to have the answers you need. They're going to come from yourself, most likely. You know, make sure that you really know what you want in this situation. And also, they're bringing you enlightenment right now, okay? And this is stuff that's going to be both positive and negative as far as like the response you'll have to it. And I don't want to say that anger is negative, because it's absolutely a part of who we are as people. It's just what we do with the anger, okay? So while the anger might be uncomfortable, think about this. It energizes us, okay? It gives us a purpose, you know? It lets us know. It gives us information about what we really care about, okay? So, and that gives you power, okay? And that's what helps you change things. Because seriously, what important thing that has gone on socially in the past 1,000, 2,000 years that hasn't come on because somebody got angry, okay? When you get angry, you can really change the world, okay? Keep that in mind. That's important. All right, those of you who picked the Black Heart. Alrighty, I'm going to kind of rearrange these a little bit. Okay, so here's your reading. Okay, we have Surrender and Release. We have Dreams. We have Reclaim Your Art. We also have Say Yes. Isn't that a great? I like that card. Say Yes. In fact, I'm going to put that in front here. Okay. Leadership. Epiphany. Seek Clarity. We have Unicorn. Invite Serendipity. We have Journey by Moonlight. Believe in Magic. Okay, and Protected by Angels. You're cherished by the angels. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so let's talk about Dreams and Journey by Moonlight. One of the ways that your guides get a hold of you is through your dreams, okay? I think you probably already know this, given that it's so strong. Know that it's like it's almost like your dream time is part of like, oh, it's like one of my friends used to call it night business. Now he didn't speak English as a first language, so he was translating from Dutch. But I really like that word. But yeah, their dreams. You know, it's like they are talking to you so much through your dreams. It's like every dream you have, every dream you remember, you're getting guidance from them. So that's the main way that they communicate with you. One thing that you can do to kind of become, I guess, more conscious of it, if you want to, is to go ahead and just like work on listening in general. Look at the world in a kind of magical way. Look at the world like, if something happens to you, imagine like, well, what would this mean if it was a dream? Okay, turn reality into something symbolic. And you'll find that you'll get even more answers that are directly channeled from your guides when you look at it that way. That's really cool. Believe in magic. I really feel like this is like, sometimes when they communicate through your dreams, it's kind of over the top. It's kind of a little dramatic, I guess, and it's like, believe that, okay? It's like they're overstating things on purpose. Okay, so your first message from your guides is they're talking to you from your dreams. Okay, that's where you're gonna get a whole lot of support and information. Okay. The next thing that I really want to talk about is this unicorn energy that says invite serendipity on it. Okay. I really feel like another way that they communicate with you is just by giving you little hints here and there through coincidences, kind of uncanny experiences and things like that. I just feel like there's something about those things that kind of clicks you into place and lets you know, hey, you're on the right journey. This is what you're supposed to be doing. In fact, I feel like an overall message for you guys is that you're doing what you're supposed to. Don't worry, you're doing what you're supposed to. Maybe your life's a little weird right now, but you actually are on the right path. You're going to get to that point. Epiphany, I think this is interesting. This is encouraging study. Seek clarity, okay? Seek clarity in your life, okay? I feel like this is going to be mostly through studying like historical events or studying like philosophy, okay? So seek clarity, definitely. Another thing it could be is having to do with like studying psychology, okay? And then on the other end of the spectrum is, I feel like there's some people in your life that you could seek clarity from. Another thing that they're telling me, which is kind of funny, is that they're like, ask us, they're like, ask us for clarity. We'll give it to you. Remember, it's on them to get the message to you, okay? You don't have to do anything special to get the message, okay? Except just be open, just say, hey, you know what? I'd like some clarity here, and they'll provide it to you. It's almost like they need permission, for something. So there's some kind of weird, like code or law going on with you and your guides where it's like you have to ask, it's like they'll help you, but you just have to ask, because there's certain things that, I feel like I'm just totally making this up, but I am getting this intuitively and I'm sincerely getting it, okay? There's almost like there's some kind of contract that you guys have, that it's like they're not supposed to help you unless you ask specifically. There's only certain things they're supposed to help you with to keep you on track, but you have a whole lot of free will in your life. Everybody has free will. I understand that could get into a really big philosophical debate, so I'm just gonna say that's my belief. Okay, everybody has free will. Everybody can change and mold their own destiny, is what I'm saying. Okay. What they're saying is that if you seek clarity from them, they can help you even more, okay? So since you get a lot of dreams here, when you're talking about your guides, they're also saying, hey, you can say before you go to sleep, you know what, I'd like to know more about Mark, or I'd like to know more about Stephanie, or, boy, this person, Shannon, is really getting on my nerves. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Shannon. Oh my God. That kind of thing. So seek clarity. And if you have a hard time remembering your dreams, before you go to sleep, also say, I want to remember at least one dream tonight. Okay, it might not work the first couple of nights, but eventually you will start remembering dreams, okay? But I feel like most of you aren't going to need to do that. We have leadership, okay? This is a really interesting card because I don't feel like this is something that comes natural to you, okay? Step into your leadership, share your message, inspire and empower others, okay? Understand that you have wisdom to share with other people, okay? When I saw this leadership card at first, I was thinking, oh my goodness, what? Because like all the other stuff didn't really make sense. But I feel like this is letting you know that you do have something really important to offer the world, okay? And it's going to really raise the consciousness of people. It's almost like you have no idea how much that ripple effect affects people, okay? The good deeds that you're doing really are spreading. And this is kind of just letting you know that you are a leader in bringing light to the world. And that's so important, okay? Regardless of what you believe, you know, regardless of religion or anything like that, you are bringing light to the darkness. And that is awesome, okay? So that's where the leadership comes on. The surrender and release, you know, with the seek clarity, I really feel like this is kind of echoing this seek clarity card. I feel like this is saying, you know, let us help you. You know, that's kind of what they're saying. Let us help you, and you know, and we will actually, you know, we'll actually do something. You know, we'll actually make it happen. Okay, so really, you can give this to your guides to help you. You know, it's just if you're not getting anything that's real clear, that what they're telling you is that you've got to this is one of the things that you've got to take care of. Okay, that's the only thing I need to kind of remind you. I think this is an important card for you guys, just to let you know that they're there, okay? Just a simple fact that they are there, okay? And they care about you, and they're keeping you on track. They're nudging you to where you're supposed to be, okay? And they're not gonna, I mean, they're not gonna let you down there, okay? It's like, you're protected. Your life, even if it feels really out of control, it's going the way it's supposed to. Okay, so this is kind of like a calming card. In fact, I feel really calm as I'm like kind of channeling this message. It's like, you're fine. You're gonna be fine. They're taking care of everything. That doesn't mean that you can't, that you need to just give up and not do anything, and they'll just take care of everything for you. But it's like, you know, keep doing what you're doing, they'll keep doing what they're doing, and you'll be fine, is the message there. Reclaim your art. Was there something that you used to do? Maybe you played an instrument, maybe you drew, maybe you were writing a lot, maybe you used to compose music, you know, maybe you used to garden, you know, there's something kind of artistic that you used to do, something creative, that they're saying, you know, you can do that, you do that, more of that, okay, because I feel like that's a way that you can express yourself, and you can reach this point right here where you're leading this leadership, okay. I also feel like there's something about that that's kind of mystical, for you, and the clarity kind of comes to you when you're kind of zoning out as you're engaging a creative endeavor. And when you're doing that, it's almost like you're becoming more receptive to their messages, okay? And there is a situation in your life that you're supposed to say yes to. If you have no idea what this is, I almost want to say, like, I can't help you. I don't know what this is. Let me go ahead. I didn't expect to do this, but let me go ahead and use this tarot deck to figure it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that this video is going to go up on the 15th, okay? So I'm going to shuffle this deck until it feels right, okay? Yeah. In fact, it is the 15th right now, at least in my time zone. Okay, and then I'm going to shuffle it this way 15 times so we know that we're on the right day here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and I'm going to pull 3 cards because that's what I was going to do. This is an extra one. Let's see what's going on here. What do you have to say yes to? Okay, we've got the Tower moment. That's not very fun. Oh, wait, it's in reverse. Okay, hold on. We've got the Star, the Tower, the King of Swords, and then this one is Death in reverse. Okay. So I feel like you're being really resistant to change right now. Okay, there's some kind of change that you know that they're saying yeah, there's some kind of change that's going on. Say yes to that change. It's like there's something there. It's like a change in habits. Like maybe you don't go out as much, and they're saying, hey, go out. If somebody invites you out, say yes, because there's an opportunity there. Okay, we also have the Star. They're like, don't give up hope in a situation. Okay, they're directing you. They're gonna, if you don't know what the say yes to thing is, they're gonna make sure that you know. They're gonna make sure that you have that direction, that you have that you're gonna be pulled towards that way. Then we've got the Tower that's in reverse. Let me go ahead and turn it around so that you see it the way I do. I feel like this means that you've gone through some stuff, but that time right now, at least for the time being, is over. Okay, you've come out of it, and you might be afraid because this stuff has happened before, and they're acknowledging that you might be afraid. Okay, but it's okay to move forward. You can move forward past that. Whatever situation you're supposed to say yes to, it's not the same as this past situation. It's not going to hurt you like that. It's not going to be a big catastrophe. It's not going to turn into a crisis, okay? And then we've got the King of Swords. The King of Swords is in reverse, okay? Now, one thing that I want to say about the King of Swords, because I'm kind of a swords person myself, okay? The King of Swords does show amazing discernment, okay? But I feel like the King of Swords being in reverse is that while the King of Swords is in great command of his thoughts and is very logical and all of that kind of stuff, what this situation calls for right now is that feminine, intuitive energy. Okay, so guys who are watching this, try to get into touch with that feminine energy and understand that there's a place for that in your life. And ladies who are watching this, just know that that feminine energy is, you know, that intuitive, nurturing, you know. It's like creating voids, you know, being like yielding and all of that kind of stuff. That's, you know, that's really called for in a situation like, so if you have a question on whether or not you should say yes or no to something, this is telling you to say yes, and then these are the explanations why. Okay, so that's what your guides want you to know. How interesting is that? All right, those of you who picked the red heart, pile number 4. Let's go ahead and look at what your guides have to tell you. Okay, we've got serenity. We've got focus. Ooh, we have stop. We have spread the light. We have magic. We have animal bond. That's an interesting one. We've got dreams. Okay. We have discovering the truth. And we have transformation. Okay, so this is really nice. I really like this Animal Bonds card. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Okay, so the Serenity card here, it came up. I feel like this has something to do with the Stop card, okay? So I'm gonna kind of read these as together. I feel like there's something that's been really bothering you, or something that you've been worried about, and it's almost like you're worried, like, it's almost like there's a self-sabotaging, like, nervousness that has to do with this, or you're wondering if you're in danger or not. I don't feel like you are. I just feel like right now is an appropriate time to kind of retreat a little bit. And I don't even mean retreat so you can kind of come up with a better plan. I just mean, you know, you've been putting a lot of energy into something. And right now, it's okay to kind of let that go and not put as much energy into it and refocus, because that's going to make you feel so much more calm. If you can, try to redirect your focus to something else, because the peace that's going to come from that is going to make you so much more receptive to hearing, to receiving messages from Spirit that are much more authentic, much more true for you, okay? So I feel like this kind of worrying, or this kind of, you know, this energy that you're putting a lot of focus into, right? This energy, I feel like this energy is trying to let you know that, you know, this is kind of cluttering your mind and making it difficult for the messages to come through. But they're also saying that even though this is making it difficult, it isn't on you to receive, to get the messages. It's their job to give the messages to you. And they do want me to tell you that it's not like you're getting in the way of getting messages. It's just that when you're so focused on one thing, it can break, you know, the ability to, it's like they'll try to nudge you or poke you or say something to you, and you'll not want to listen because you're so focused on this, okay? So they're basically saying be more receptive and understand that you can, gosh, really? They want me to say this? Okay, that you can calm down, because that's their words, not mine, okay? I am not, what I'm hearing, okay? You just be calm. Okay, I got it. Be calm. Be calm. You know, they're just like, stop. Okay, look, stop. All right. Okay, you can be calm. And then they'll be able to give you some really really good nudges and information there, you know? And I feel like the way that you receive those information is through kind of like infused thoughts. It's kind of like you'll have a thought and it'll feel like it almost doesn't even come from you. And it's not because it doesn't, because I do feel like a part of you is in co-creation with your guides, okay? But it's like there's sometimes you'll get, you know, an idea or something will pop into your mind. This might come up with creativity, and it's your guides, you know, pushing you along to, you know, hey, do that thing, you know, and that kind of thing. So yeah, another way that they speak to you is through dreams. Okay, that's not surprising. A lot of people get their messages through dreams, and it's interesting because I've seen a lot of people spread messages about how, oh, well, when you first start out, that's the easiest way you can get them and all of that. That might be true. I don't know. You know, all I know is that I get a lot of information through my dreams. And it's like I don't feel like I feel like the messages that I got from my dreams 20 years ago are just as amazing as the messages that I got from my dreams 10 years ago are just as amazing as the dreams that, you know, the messages I get from my dreams now. You know, I feel like there's, you know, there's no kind of like hierarchy of the best way to receive messages, okay? Like this might just be your style, okay? So do kind of keep that in mind. This says believe in your dreams. You know how like your dreams can be kind of magical and weird? I feel like this is you know, this magic. It's saying, you know, even when it's weird and it's like overstated and it's kind of like over the top, still believe in them. It's interesting because another pile that came before you guys had the same general message. So I think it's really interesting how we've got that repeating message here. Okay, yeah, I want to make sure that that's another thing that's coming up. This is so interesting, and I've noticed that this has happened to me more in the second part of my life than in the first. I've always been really attracted to animals, certain animals too. And I've always felt like a strong connection with them. I feel like you have, like, I feel like animals are literally some of your spirit guides, are some animals that you have in your life. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have a pet in order to communicate with your guides. I just feel like there's a lot of animal energy around you that it's like, I feel like they're there to comfort you, and they're also there to show you their wisdom, okay? It is funny because I'm saying this out loud, and I'm thinking about how certain animals like really kind of either move in and then move out of my life, or there's been some that have been real steady in my life, and I'm actually kind of coming to this realization as I am doing this, you know, on like in this video, that oh my gosh, there have been so many animals, like specific ones, and then the general, you know, just the general energy of this particular animal that has really given me a lot of guidance at different points in my life. So I would say, you know, investigate your animal bonds. Where does it come from? What do these animal bonds say about you? And this is also saying sticking up for all animals. I feel like this is not just for animals like our pets and the endangered species and things like that, but I also feel like this is talking about humans as well. And that's a really great segue into spreading the light, okay? You have something really beautiful to give the world. You have a truth that you can tell people that will resonate and make them be like, wow. You know, like you can really change people's perspectives by spreading the light, okay? I feel like you cast light into the darkness, and I feel like your guides are encouraging you to be in the light and go for authenticity, go for truth, go for clarity, okay? And that will spread. It'll have a great ripple effect, okay? Discovering truth, you stand in the light of truth. I feel like this is exactly, you know, this is just, they're echoing off of each other, they're playing off of each other. Part of spreading the light is continuing to bring more light into your life. Make sure that you know, it can be very, very difficult for some people to do this. But I feel like it's a little bit easier for you guys to face the truth, you know, and understand that the information is neutral. It's how you respond to it that makes it good or bad. And I feel like, you know, as long as it's part of the light, as long as it's true, then you're good with it. And so I feel like this, it, you know, plays off of one another there, okay? Then we've got transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. You have something coming for you that they're planning for you, okay? Your guides are kind of pushing you to a new place, okay, spiritually. And a place where you can manifest, okay? And then they're also saying this is going to give you a bigger perspective, okay? So, you've got a lot of stuff going on here. I feel like you guys are in the middle of a really strong kind of spiritual breakthrough right now. And I feel like they're just saying, you know, all they're saying is, you know, listen to us, understand that you are receiving, you know, the messages that you are receiving. Yes, they are messages. Here are some different ways that you can hear us better. Dreams, you know, just kind of stop the thoughts, stop the chatter, and be calm, you know. Check out your animal bonds, you know, and spread what you know to be true throughout the world. And it's almost like your guides will come through to you through other people's guides. It's like other people will be guided towards you, and they'll help build connect yourself up. Because I feel like it's not just that you have your own guides, but the people in your life, their guides are helping them to help you, and vice versa, okay? So yeah, this is this is really great. So you guys have a lot of work that you're working on right now in the background there. So all right, hi, pile number 5, those of you who picked the blue heart. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you every card that I get, and then we're going to interpret them. We have surrendering to the journey, releasing control, breaking trail, breakthroughs at hand. We have intuition, the angel of miracles, okay, polarity. All right, listen to the music. This came up yesterday. You are safe, okay. We have playfulness and ideas and inspiration. So you guys have a lot going on here. Let me just kind of think about this here. So that I can figure out where to start. The first message that I think is most appropriate to you guys is the polarity card. There's a thing in psychology called cognitive dissonance, and they defined it as when you have two opposing views and both of them are true, and it's hard to hold both of them together. Interestingly enough, a lot of conspiracy theories come from this polarity, because it's like it's hard to believe that something so improbable could be true, right? So I really feel like the polarity is you recognizing that there's a whole scale of human emotion, of human experience, and things that are on this side of the scale, I knocked my drink, things that are this side of the scale are just as true as things that are on this side of the scale, and all the gray area in between are true as well. It just depends on what perspective you're going from. So I feel like you have a gift at seeing from so many different perspectives. Okay, and as you see from those different perspectives, your intuition is just off the charts. Okay, because you're able to it's not just that like you're imagining different perspectives. It's like, you know, those different perspectives exist because you've thought about it. Like if people understood how much thinking you did, they would be so amazed. Right? Because seriously, you think a lot, you analyze a lot. But not in a negative way, you know. It's a positive thing. It's not like you're. Some people take the word analyzing and they think that it's just unnecessary worrying or something like that. But it's not. That's not what it is like for you guys. It's more that you really see those patterns. Now your guides are telling me, it's like, where are the guides coming in? Come on, what are my guides wanting to tell me? Your guides are telling me that this is what you're supposed to do. I know it's difficult sometimes to get into that cognitive dissonance and like really hold two opposing ideas in your hands. Like one of them, I'm just giving this as an example, and also because I feel led to give this. Is one of the ideas that I have is that it's absolutely wrong to take a life, okay? And on the other end of the spectrum, I have people should die according to their own terms with dignity, right? So when I was younger, I believe I was 32 or 33, my uncle, who had battled brain cancer and survived and had been fine for a few years, found out that he had brain cancer again. Okay, and the prognosis was really, really negative to not take treatment. Now, a lot of people in my family were very upset about this, and I understood why they were upset, you know. But in my mind, I was upset from a different perspective. I was upset because it's like, I don't feel like people should take their own lives, or I don't feel like it's right to take a life, okay? And believe, this is my own belief system, okay? I'm not asking you guys to believe this too. I'm just talking about a cognitive dissonance that I had to overcome myself. But at the same time, I did feel that my uncle, like, if he doesn't want to go through that horrible treatment that he had to go through and be mentally compromised by it and all of that stuff and fight a battle that he knows isn't, you know, it is only going to buy him another 6 months, for example, or whatever, he should be allowed to just say, you know what, I'm going to live the rest of my life, you know, from a more clear perspective, not having to get sick because of the poison in the medicine that's supposed to keep cancer at bay. And putting those two things together and make it okay was very difficult for me. But I did reach a point where I was able to say, you know what? It's wrong to take life, and it's right that people should be able to, you know, to be respected in the way that they choose to go when they're faced with a situation like that. And both of those things are true, okay? And that's what I mean when I'm talking about polarity. You're able to see how two things that are completely, like, that contradict themselves are both true. That's the kind of thing that I mean. And your guides want to tell you that kind of perspective, that kind of understanding is a gift that you can give to the world, and something that they, if you're struggling with one of those things, that they're trying to help you, okay? Your intuition, again, off the charts. I can't believe it. It's amazing. You know, why are you guys watching me? You need to go start your own channels. All right. I'm gonna go on to ideas and inspiration, because I really feel like this is another way that you're talked to through your guides. I feel like what they're doing is when sometimes you'll just get this really brilliant idea and you'll know it'll work, you know that things are gonna come through, you know that you're being really creative, and it's almost like you're channeling this from something, you know, somewhere beyond or whatever. Those ideas, the inspiration, your muse is basically your guides. The universe is your muse, okay? So when you are move to maybe start a new project, whether that's, you know, at work, or a humane project, or a project involving animals or music or whatever, that's your guides talking to you. That's your guides talking through you. You might even find that if you are moved to write, that some of the writing that comes out will actually be things that you needed to teach yourself, you know. I feel like that's something that you do. I feel like another way that you can, they're not saying don't be so serious, because there are times where you have to be serious, you know, with the kind of life that you have to be serious. But they're saying, give yourself the ability to kind of play, okay? And I mean active playing. I'm not saying like take time to rest. It's like take time to really play with different ideas and thoughts. And, you know, I feel like this is also like creative endeavor. This is also like painting and writing and that kind of stuff. Just play with things, you know? And this also actually might literally be like playing with children. Like children are very receptive to messages, and they just have so much wisdom. Gosh, they're incredible. It might just be that your guides can talk to you through children, or that children are supposed to bring you more messages. So that might be something that's going on in your life. Then we have the angel of miracles. Open your heart and expect a miracle. I feel like this is they're promising you that something you think isn't going to work out, it actually will. And I feel like this is just them saying, oh, and by the way, that thing that you think that's not going to work out, it actually will. So we've got that. It's like they're trying to tell you that they've got that, and if you need them to get anything else for you, just ask, and they'll do their best. Okay. We have listened to the music and you are safe. Okay. So I really feel like, in context of this particular question, this particular reading, listen to the music is like, hey, listen to us. We have things that we're telling you. And one of the things that they really want to tell you is that there was a time where you were really, it was a dark time where it was like you had to be in a place where you had to be like hyper alert of everything, because you felt like or your situation literally was like dangerous or really unpredictable. And because you were in that, it was like you had to be really alert. And I think that that's what helped your intuition kind of stick around. Because I feel like this was something that happened when you were younger. It could have been something that happened recently, but the energy feels kind of like at a younger energy. But they're saying you're safe now. That, what happened then isn't the same as what... Wow, I wonder what that was. You guys do know that I have cats, right? That sounded like a cat noise. I wonder what they knocked over. Okay, well, whatever that was. What I was saying is that, you're safe. You're okay. Things are going to be okay. The person or this situation that happened before, this isn't the same situation. This isn't the same person. You're going to be fine. Okay? We've got the expect miracles, right? A breakthrough is at hand. I really feel like these two are connected. There's something really, I feel like there's something you've been working on that's been real tedious, okay? And that about now you've got something that is really coming to you that's going to open that up, so you don't have to work so hard at it. It's almost like you're almost there. Don't give up while you're almost there. And then, surrendering to the journey, release control. Sometimes those of us who have a whole lot of intuition, it's like we see that things are about to happen, or we're really sensitive to dynamics between different people, and we're sensitive to dynamics in our own life, and it's like we want to jump in and be like, you know what, I know you're saying everything's okay, but I know there's a vibe there. I know there's something wrong between us, and I really want to correct it. Like, try to release your need to control situations when you get your intuitions. Because it's like, oh gosh, I so identify with this, I actually feel like it's my guides talking to me, and I'm just kind of, giving you a stream of consciousness of what they're saying. But I know that this is for you guys too, okay? So it's like, it's very rare that I'm doing a reading and it's like, wait a minute, that's what I need to know. It's like you know what's coming. You have this idea of, you know what, I actually know how this is going to play out, because I've seen this play out so many different times, and all of that. It's like, try to step back and allow the situation to come about the way it's going to, and know that you can't change every single situation. You can't control every single situation that you see is like, oh, wait, I know how to make that better. That kind of thing. People have to play out their dramas in order to learn from them. And, gosh, this is something I've struggled with a lot during my life. But people have to, just because you know what's better for people, but you really do, it's like you still have to let them learn it themselves too. So sometimes you do have to take a step back and be like, you know what, even though I know something that would help here, I might be able to kind of let them know a little bit about what's going on, but this is their lesson to learn, right? So that can be a difficult one. That can be a difficult one, but your guys are right there with you. You're very intuitive. You're extremely smart. You're the kind of person I'd like to hang out with. So you're all good, all right? Okay. And thank you so much for staying to the end of my video. I feel like I've gone really, really long this time, but you guys, I had so much information to share with you guys, so that's kind of interesting. So again, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the likes and subscribes and the comments. If you would like me to do a pick a card reading, go ahead and leave it as a suggestion in the comments, okay? All right, I'll see you the next time on the pick a card reading, okay?